Hi, Scorpio. Welcome to January 2019. Can you believe that we are here? So exciting. I am going to grab my glass here and I'm going to send a toast to you guys for 2019. It is spicy ginger ale, just so you know. A toast to Scorpio. Scorpios, you guys have been my A-team. I think on a soul level, Scorpios, you probably have the best and deepest and strongest intentions for my growth and well-being of anybody. You have kind of been my guardian angels. You have high standards, and I love it. I love your passion and your integrity. I love that you dive deep. I love your beautiful hearts. I love how much you love and how much you stand behind the people you love, no matter what you've been through with those people. There is that part of you that always stands by them. I love how healing you are and how giving you are and how much you feel. I have so much respect for that. I love you. And a cheers to 2019. I hope we do beautiful things together. I appreciate the hell out of you. And there's nobody like you guys in the world. Thank you. All right, you guys, now that we've had that way overly emotive little cheers to you, it's also true. Let's talk about this month. And if you're interested in the overarching year ahead, the big aspects that are working with each of us and what that's going to feel like and just intuitively feeling through it, I did do your aheads and they're really fun. I think they're such a fun, empowering tool. So I'll leave the Vimeo link below. You just click on that and find Scorpio and you're set to go. So let's talk January though. Okay. 2019 has a really different feel, and I've been kind of going off on this thing where, we like to villainize the year before and then say, this is the year, it's going to be this and that. I will say this, though, about the difference energetically between 2018 and 2019. I don't really agree with that mindset because I think every year comes with growth and challenge. And every year will come with growth and challenge. That's part of the fun. That's part of the intensity. 2018 was about moving forward and then integrating. It was a year of intense retrogrades. You guys were deeply affected by those retrogrades, having Venus retrograde in your sign. And most recently. And you have energy moving into your opposite sign of Taurus with Uranus moving. Oh, Three of Swords. Okay, don't worry, you guys. Don't worry. The beginning of January is a little tense. It's intense. It's the first week, I have to say, is a time of we have to assess and take a moment. So I'm just going to add that in there before we continue. 2019, though, is really about that wide open horizon and moving forward. And so we do need to take January a little bit in hand. It's very forward moving, but I think it can be a little overwhelming. Now, I do have a note for you guys, just overarching before we even get into cards, which, wow. 10 of Wands, 5 of Cups, that came up for Aries, you guys, the other Mars-ruled sign, and Page of Wands. Wow. Okay. Wow. I told you there was some assessment. We'll talk about it. It'll make sense. Don't worry. The note I have for you guys is the balancing between the internal and the external for you guys. So you have two powerful sides of yourself, really powerful sides of yourself. You have an extremely private, tender side of yourself that not everybody gets access to. See, there we go. We get that change. 3 of Cups. Not everybody gets access to. Special people get access to, and it's amazing, and it's beautiful, and it's just lovely, right? You have a very private side, though, that needs time, and it needs its space, and it needs to be nurtured, right? And you also have this showstopper side that is all performance. Hierophant, 8 of Cups, okay? And all about, you guys are hilarious and mesmerizing and intriguing and intelligent. You're really good at performing and you love that part of yourselves too. You have these two beautiful sides of yourself. One of the things I'm noticing, Lovers and Ace of Pentacles. Cool. Okay. One of the things I'm noticing about this month is that both of these sides of yourself are getting kind of pulled and touched on. And one of the goals of the energy of January 2019 for you is to find a healthy balance swing between these two. I always like to think of a really gentle pendulum that's found like this perfect soft, slow swing back and forth, and finding that beautiful harmony between I'm going over here, I'm retracting, I'm going to rest, I'm coming out here, I'm going to perform, whoa, I'm going to, and just not feeling like you're burning out in one way and then you're feeling too isolated in another way, right? Like January is kind of pulling at both sides. This is a great chance for you to check in with both of these. Now the cards are speaking to that. I don't know if you noticed. I don't know if you noticed, but there's something heavy going on with you Scorps. I know of at least one Scorp for sure that is going through an extremely tough time. The transformation doesn't even begin to touch on what's kind of going on here. But let's just look at these first three cards that came out because they're heavy, right? 3 of Swords, 10 of Wands, 5 of Cups is very real energy. January is interesting because we start the year off with your co-ruling planet of Mars jumping into one of its home signs of Aries, which is going to feel good for all of us, right? It's this fire starter energy for all of us. Like, so perfect, right? To open the year out with this powerful beauty of forward-moving fire. Ready to go. But you're working through Capricorn energy, which for you is about your reputation in the world. It's about how you put yourself forward in the world. It's about all of that. You have Mercury in Capricorn. We have a new moon in Capricorn. We have Sun and Saturn conjunct in Capricorn. And that first week, that's all happening. We also have Uranus going direct again after having gone retro back into Aries. Now it's going forward, and it will start working its way to your opposite sign of Taurus in a couple of months. It will be back there. No, you know what? I'm totally getting this wrong. Capricorn season for you is not about your reputation in the world. It's about communication. I'm getting all sorts of mixed up. I'm sorry, you guys. We have communication going on, right? We have Capricorn energy communication. And then we hit into Aquarius season, which is your home center heart base. And that Aquarius season opens up with a full moon Leo lunar eclipse, which is about your reputation in the world. So you're getting hit in a lot of different tender points. These three are speaking to something, yes, painful, yes, lost. That maybe is haunting you for 2018. Maybe you're still working with it. Maybe you're still working with who you've been and what that means for you, who you're becoming and what that means for you. Maybe some of you are grieving a relationship, a loss of a relationship. Maybe some of you are grieving the loss of an identity that was shaping you, right? That's legitimate. And I am noticing that even though this year is very fresh and everything's kind of moving forward and we're in this determined Capricornian energy that is so about like cardinal direction, that first week is really this time of breath and acknowledgement of anything that we have lost. Whether that be an identity, a business, a friendship, a relationship, who we've been, who we have been, right? And that can feel painful, and it can even feel scary, because what if that means that you stay in this energy for too long? But it's so funny, you guys, because these two cards showed up for Aries next to each other as well. And I was telling Aries, this is invitational. And it is invitational. This is the doorway between one past self and your next self. The 10 is always about a closeout of a cycle, and this 5 is about growth, however uncomfortable, into the next version of yourself. They're both transformational energies. They're both that hallway where you've closed one door and now you're in this hallway. You're in the birthing canal, so to speak, and you're about to open that next door. There is a moment in between. And it is okay to take a second and be here with it. It is okay to take a moment to breathe through this. Acknowledge those spilled cups. Acknowledge what weight you've carried. And then to open the next door, right? I think it's so important to take those moments to feel through that. I think it's so important to take those moments to acknowledge that, so that we have the space to invite something like the Page of Wands in. So that we have the energy to open ourselves to opportunity, because that's what I'm seeing for you guys. There's this newness coming in. And it comes on the heels of major loss. It comes on the heels of accepting what had to be lost. It comes on the heels of personal loss, right? Which can come in so many different forms. For some of you, that could have been a very supportive experience as well. You know, losing a version of ourselves doesn't always have to be this tragic, painful thing. It can be a relief. But however you're experiencing this pain, my loves, it's creating space for the Page of Wands to come in and open that door. Fresh air. Now, this can be a reinstatement of communication. This can be about reconnecting with somebody. This can be about getting those answers that you need. And this can also be about an opportunity when it comes to travel, when it comes to moving, when it comes to creating, building a business, doing something. I mean, to me, this is about you guys getting to express your creative side and feeling expressive in that and feeling free to express that and feeling open to expressing that. And that's just the beginning. So once we get through this first week of tough integration, something shifts here, you guys, and it's like open, 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 open chest. Look at this. I mean, really. Three of Cups, Hierophant, Lovers. There's something to celebrate here. There's something to celebrate here. There is something to step into here that is extremely solid. Solid, so solid. You know, it's such a difference. The Three of Swords into the Three of Cups is a very different dynamic, wouldn't you say? The Three of Cups is about feeling surrounded by people that you love, by people who see you, by people who make you feel safe so that you can perform, so that you can share. You know, even people who maybe help you see and experience both sides of yourself, both the very secretive, special space that you hold and your very performative, lovely space, right? There's something to celebrate. There's something happening here, an accomplishment, an opening that is so exciting, rich, warm, feels right, easy. There's also something really solid forming here for you guys, something that isn't going anywhere for a long time. It's something that is in fact building and growing and getting more profound in each day. And here that is with the Hierophant and the Lovers. This is about commitment. These two are so about deep commitment. Now, yes, that is about relationship. That is about committing fully to something. Whether you have a Taurus or a Gem in your life, which, you know, Scorpios and Gems, my goodness, what is that? Whether it's whether it's building on a relationship or building on a new project, something is getting committed. There's a commitment here. Whether that's really involves signing a contract or not, I don't know. Because the Hierophant always has a little bit of that contractual energy going on here, but this is about long-term commitment. And what that feels like, right? What that looks like, what that entails, what feels good to you within it. This is the kind of thing that takes a little bit of time to fully form. I will say that. I think January, it is a time of inviting in that deeper. And as we get into the Aquarian energy, we're working at those relationships that are in your internal space, that are in the spaces that you reserve for those you really love. And as we work through that energy, there is this time of how can we build that? How can we create that? And like I said, we're also preparing over the next 2 months for Uranus to go back into your opposite sign of Taurus and light up your relational world. Light up what it means to relate. Light up what it means to connect and to love and to share of yourself. There is transformation going on there. So this conversation right here is the beginning of that transit, and we're starting to get little hints of it even now in January as Uranus goes forward, still in Aries, but it's taking its journey forward into this phase. And for you, this is about deeply committing to new projects, new identity, new relationship. And I have to tell you, like I said, it's not all unfolding this month. You will start to feel that it is, and it is connecting, and it is creating, and it is moving. However, the important thing to realize here is that in just getting your vibrational field and your heart and your mind wrapped around it takes some time to integrate. And that's where this Eight of Cups is still coming in, because it is an adventurer card. Whenever I see this card, I think about the hero's journey. The hero's journey, one of the key points of that is knowing that there's something more to see, right? There's always this character who has this longing and is living their typical life, and they get that call, and they know they have to leave behind what's familiar. They know they have to leave behind a certain landscape and go to this other landscape without really knowing why or how. And this is that key moment of turning and saying, you got to go. Yes, it's about leaving behind old patterns. Yes, it's about leaving behind old ways of loving, of doing, of giving of yourself, of sharing of yourself. It's old ways of caring for your body that maybe weren't doing such good things for you. It's leaving behind old ways of eating, drinking, sleeping, patterns, routines, connections. There is something being left behind, my loves. For sure. And January is definitely saying, yeah, that's gone. This isn't even retrograde stuff. This is like, sometimes I think the funny thing is we think that once we get into that forward motion energy, we've all been waiting for it. New year, let's go. Let's make it happen. We don't realize that is a journey. And as soon as you don't have those retrogrades to check back in and go back and rearrange and check back in and think, then we're just moving forward. And that really means there is no comfortable holding back anymore. There's just this moving forward. And I think we have to take a moment to realize what we're committing to, what we're creating, and to acknowledge, that we're in a different energetic field, and it feels very different, and it can be a little overwhelming. Your top card is Ace of Pentacles, which, who can argue with this? That opportunity to move, to travel, to invest, new job, new landscape, new project is there. And it's all around you. And the funny thing that I'm getting with this reading today is, yes, there's a lot of relationship energy here. There's a lot about heartbreak and a lot about commitment and a lot about what patterning is involved with those two concepts. But what's holding you energetically is this purpose in life, this moving forward with purpose in life, and that being the central thread. Whoever's coming in that you are committing to, whatever's coming in that you are committing to, has to fit into that picture, has to fit into that pendulum swing of your internal and external, and how you find a healthy blend between the two, has to fit into honoring both sides of that. And it's so much more about you feeling full in yourself, and that bringing in people that make sense as compared to the people or the situations that felt painful in the past. I have an affirmation for you guys that I think it reflects that idea that I have of that healthy pendulum swing, and honoring both aspects of yourself, and remembering to honor both aspects of yourself as you forge into new territory and as you release old patterning. And here it is. I take care of myself when I need rest. I extend my energy out with courage and ease when I feel inspired. That sounds really easy. And it's a practice, right? To give yourself that. You guys always push yourself really hard. And I think sometimes you don't catch it because it seems natural to you. But just checking in there. Letting yourself rest when you need it. Sharing of yourself when you feel inspired. What a beautiful thing. Each side of you is so beautiful and important. You are doing some deep work this month. I'll admit it. I saw those energies and I was like, wow, okay. But to me, it inherently means you are moving into new territory when you are willing to say that is closing, right? I think it's beautiful. I'm really excited for you guys. Once again, you can check out the Your Heads on Vimeo. I'll leave the link below. You can follow me on Instagram at the SARAHTAROT. I try and do a lot of inspiration there and talk about energy updates just to give us a little boost throughout the week. So that's always a great resource if you're needing that little check-in time. You can also check out my calendar and email me. I will leave my website, my email below, sarahtarot.com. You can check me out there. I am booking private sessions, so if you're interested in one, I would hop on over. I'm booking in April right now, so you can go check out my calendar and see what works with your schedule. I'd love to meet you and work with you. I love you guys so much. You have no idea how much I appreciate you in my life. It goes really deep. It's much deeper than then it's just like, it doesn't like appear always on the surface of my life, but when I really look, it's like, who's there anchoring all this? It's this deep Scorpio energy. So thank you so much, you guys. I will see you in February. Take really impeccably good care of yourselves and have a beautiful beginning to the new year.